you don't have the equity, it does not work. Point blank, that's the catch here. So in my case, I have been in the property for 18 years. I had never refinanced it. So what we owed on it was so minimal in comparison to the value of the home. So this is really for that middle class person that bought their house a long time ago. They're being, laid off from work, or they're experiencing a financial hardship, and they know they're more than likely going to have to downsize because they don't have future income that would support their current lifestyle. But what this does for them is it gives them an avenue to, one, not have a foreclosure, and two, not have to get out of their house within
Yeah.
10 to 30 days.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Shanese Green, is in the foreclosure space and is passionate about keeping the housed. Shanese, welcome to
Thank
the show.
you. It is an honor to be here to talk about something I'm so passionate about, which that's odd, right?
Hey, I always like to start off at the top, Shanice, by asking guests, how they got into the real estate space, in your case, the foreclosure
Yeah,
space.
so I am a banker by trade, and I am proud to be an end user of solutions that helped me when I faced income loss, health issues, major life event, becoming a divorcee, and I was unable to make my mortgage payment. So, as a kid, I always wanted to manage money. By the age of 4, I knew that this is what I wanted to do when I grew up. And as my life path, I became a banker. So by trade, I'm a bit of a real estate guru. So going into foreclosure was an active decision because of my circumstance. And I was able to navigate it more as a property manager rather than a victim of my circumstances. This allowed me to really utilize my skill sets, my resources. And as a result, I was able to come through the process. And in our conversation, I hope I get a chance
Mhm.
to really salute this community.
Hey, this is an interesting one because you talk about all sides of the deal. You've experienced pressures of bills, of potentially facing these issues, and then you went on to work in the space. If I can, what was it like getting involved yourself? Because you were facing, it sounds like, pressures of housing and of bills. Were you at that point in time involved in real estate when you were going through that
I had
yourself?
2, life altering experiences real estate wise. The first was when I was in college. I was going to be married. My fiancé called the wedding off because we had nowhere to live. He had a family member that would have to go live with his mom because of foreclosure. So I decided, like, early in my 20s, I would never lose my house. And then went into banking. And so I understood how to keep people from losing property, whether it was a church whose loan was called or a business that was getting ready to lose all their assets. So when I started to have health declines, I literally knew exactly what the process was. And it's kind of like those who can't coach. I couldn't pay the bills, so I coached my husband through what it would look like.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I had him get on the phone with me and talk to the bank every 6 weeks to determine where we are. We took advantage of modification programs. And the best part of all, which gave me some oomph and some confidence, was early on in around 2021, 22, the North Carolina Housing Fund paid $38,000 towards my mortgage through COVID funds I did not have to pay
Well,
back.
that'll do it.
That's when
That'll
the
do it.
confidence
So
really
you're
came, like, "Wait, no, this is doable, and you need to go through this so you can help other people."
so when you went through it yourself, you were able to climb out of a difficult situation. Did you then start looking at things like foreclosure auctions, pre-foreclosure reports, or folks reaching out to you when they were facing, potentially imminent loss of their home? How did you get more involved in the foreclosure world?
So, having this passion, having this knowledge, what really got me was the amount of equity that I had, which I knew made me a unique case. So, I knew that there would be an investor somewhere that would be willing to make a deal with me very quickly. And so when people talk about money is attracted to desire, well, I desire to keep my house. So there were like 2 or 3 times the bank just canceled the loan and said that canceled the sale because they were doing like these audits. But then it came down to, okay, now we're going to auction. And I just happened to be in the hospital the day of the auction. But in North Carolina, we have what's called a 10-day redemption and upset bid period. Takes me 3 days in the banking world to close the deal. I just happened to call the right investor. And this is where I feel like our investment industry is not getting enough praise for what they are doing. I said, "My name is Shanese. I'm a banker by trade. So I'm going to tell you where we are with this, and I'll use terms I know you understand. I always give a backstory. I want to stay in my house for 12 months with first right of refusal to buy it back. Can you do that?" He said, "Yes. And how much equity do you want? And you don't have to pay rent for 12 months. And this is and he gave my address." And so that's how proficient the investors are right now. And I asked them, I said, "What makes you let me stay in my house 12 months? The most I've heard is 30
Yeah.
days." He said, "A year ago, we started looking at the economy and we realized that this wasn't sufficient time for the owner." He said, the first right of refusal to buy it back," he said, "that's new, but we can just write that up in your closing documents." And they gave me the price of the home today. They did not tell me I would need to get an appraisal in 12 months. So that was even better.
So I want to get granular on this strategy. Correct me where I'm wrong. So foreclosure happens, investor comes and buys it. You reach out to the investor and you say exactly what you said. 12 months, stay in the home. The investor benefits because they effectively have a locked in price that is higher than what they paid for in 12 months to sell the property. Is
Yes.
that right? And the downside would be, well, if the person who's living there continues to live in there, now we have to deal with an eviction battle. But also, correct me if I'm wrong here, are you potentially looking at taking the loan back, or would you have to, like, would the loan be reinstated, or would it be a totally new
So
loan?
this is now a contract between me and the investor. There's no interest accumulating. In addition, all
Okay.
year they're taking care of maintenance on the property. Just a little side quest. After I closed, they brought me
Yeah.
a free 5-ton air conditioning unit.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So right then and right there, I'm already, in the positive in some regards. Now, not everybody has my lifestyle, right? I'm an entrepreneur by spirit, by trade. And so as a result, I'm able to take my story to the masses, which one of the things we did not mention yet is that I am an ambassador for lung cancer because I am a lung cancer patient. So I have a really big platform. I have many different avenues in order to generate capital. And the question is, well, why didn't I do it before? That's always the question. Like, why is
Yeah.
it that you didn't get the foreclosure taken care of before it went to auction? Those are always the questions. But the bottom line is, if you can't, you just can't. And we don't always, take into consideration the human, right? I couldn't do it then. But when
Yep.
I'm well and when I'm healthy, I'm able to generate mass income because I've done it in the community through a banker. Now I just get to apply what I know, help other people while helping myself.
I want to ask you about who can use this strategy. And then also too, well, before we get into that, actually, a better question would be, it's 12-month mark, right? What are your options at the 12-month mark? Do you have to buy the house? Are you potentially facing, legal obligations to buy the house at the 12-month mark? If you can't, what is the recourse? What does it look like at that 12-month
So
mark?
different investors, different avenues. So let's take 12 months. You've had 12 months to determine how to get your things out of your home and reestablish yourself. And in this case, you also had equity to do that, right? If you know you're never going to be able to pay this back, you don't ask for first right of refusal. You just go ahead and prepare that in 12 months, you have a new domain. Point blank end of discussion. It's really easy work in those cases. Other investors will actually give you the money, and then you can stay in the house and just pay rent beyond the 12 months, and they'll retain the property and still take care of your maintenance. And for some people, that's really a great option.
hmm I want to ask you about, you mentioned first right of refusal. You're staying there for 12 months, not paying rent. Uh, Ultimately, the investor, it sounds like, could effectively have bought the house at auction, paid a lump sum for it at the auction. You could stay there for 12 months and then not pay anything and then leave. Why wouldn't the investor hire an attorney and pay a couple $1,000s to get you out of there when it's going to cost them more? And I'm imagining holding costs for you to live there 12 months.
Well, a couple of things. They are making a great deal of money. I had a lot of equity in this property. So they're not losing. They're absolutely not losing because they didn't pay the bank very much. That's the answer to that. The other thing is that in that 12 months, I have to make a decision, right? But I'm not rushed by it. And that's what gave me the peace of mind. And a lot of people don't look at time as money, but I do.
So would it be, is there a certain sect of single family homes where this works better with, like, let's say, homes near a major metro or homes that are X number of years old? Is there a certain sect of homes that this strategy would not work
If you
on?
don't have the equity, it does not work. Point blank, That's the catch here. So in my case, I have been in the property for 18 years. I had never refinanced it. So what we owed on it was so minimal in comparison to the value of the home. So this is really for that middle class person that bought their house a long time ago. They're being, laid off from work, or they're experiencing a financial hardship, and they know they're more than likely going to have to downsize because they don't have future income that would support their current lifestyle. But what this does for them is it gives them an avenue to, one, not have a foreclosure, and two, not have to get out of their house within
Yep.
10 to 30 days.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Let me ask you this. The properties are being sold like at the county courthouse at a foreclosure auction. The investor buys it there, or are they going to the lender and saying, hey, lender, I see that this person is potentially in the foreclosure process or pre-foreclosure. I'd like to buy their bad debt and effectively become the new owner, but it hasn't officially been sold at the foreclosure auction. Is that latter one what's
So it's
happening?
actually, they're reaching out after they see that you go to the courthouse and you have an auction pending. That's no most of the time when the letters
Uh-huh.
start coming, because I actually called, like, most of the investors that reached out to me because I wanted to know what the challenge was going to be. Like, I already knew somebody was going to take the deal, but I needed to get as much information about the transaction so that I could support the company that was going to do it, because the bank always has, like, a hiccup. And the hiccup in it all was
Okay.
they're going to reach out to you and they're going to say, hey, we see you're at auction. And they like that because it's a short window and a turn time is usually like 10 days. Once, or 45 days, they see the auction. So it's a great strategy. I love their strategy. I got so many letters and I kept them. And then, like I said, I started calling all of them after I closed my deal, because I didn't want anybody trying to get me to do their deal when I was going with the best deal. And so in my case, I had the best
Right.
deal. It was equity. It was rent free for 12 months because they added the rental cost into the buyback price. All right. I mean, into the buyback price. And then all of my maintenance covered for 12 months as well. You just really don't always find a deal that good. Other times, they are also reaching out to you to help you not have to sell your house, believe it or not. A lot of them programs
Yeah.
that will help you. If you call, they will help navigate with the financial institution. But what really triggers it is when they see you go to auction, when they see that you have an auction date set.
I've been on this side of the game. I've reached out as a wholesaler before I got licensed as a realtor in Texas. I was reaching out to folks who had an auction date set. What never occurred to me was, hey, let me offer them. This is so brilliant, uh, Shanice, because you talk about investor being able to effectively not overpay to where they won't make money for it, allow the person to stay in their home. They don't have to go then bid on it at auction. They can lock it up prior to the auction, pay off the bad debt. The home is theirs. They have effectively a 12-month lease option. Um, and that gives them the ability to avoid the foreclosure auction as an investor where they're going to be outbid, and it gives them the ability to partner with people rather than just make a flat cash offer and say you're out.
Yes. And then people like me get on podcasts like yours and tell everybody.
Hey, we need more of it. We need more of it, Neesy. Uh, I do want to ask you about where you're seeing the most interest in this strategy. Is it from investors? Is it from folks who are, losing their homes? Is it from a mix across the board? Is it rural? Is it city? Is it
You
everywhere?
know what? I really dug deep into this thing because who wants to get out of their house in 10 to 30 days? Well, obviously, it's not people who are in foreclosure. So, you know who else is really picking up this as a banner of this is an option for me? People who are inheriting property. They don't wanna argue with any of the family
Wow.
about it,
Yeah.
so this is actually, like, not just for people in distress. This is also available to people who are wealthy and really want their time back, and so an investor can come in and really settle the whole family's conversation about what do we do with Uncle Jojo's house. So it's
And it gives them 12 months to decide. Hey, I like this strategy. I have to use this strategy for myself. I have to go see how I can do this. You know, how did you come up with this? Because I've had so many guests on the show talk about, for instance, one of the big things that people say is don't let folks stay in the home because then they're not going to leave. Well, ultimately, if they have the option to buy and if you're acquiring it for such a low cost, it is a win-win. Let's say worst case scenario, they don't leave. You paid so minimal for the home that you can afford the eviction if it gets to that point. How did you come up with this strategy?
Well, it was laid out, and like I said, as a part of my divine alignment. So I didn't really do it. I uncovered it, and then I told them I'm here to amplify it. I want people to realize that we really need to have like a daily conversation across the nation where people just call in and we pair them with the right investor. Like that would make more sense to
Yep.
Shanice because when I started looking at multiple ways to utilize the strategy, all we needed was someone who had the capital and the understanding of the benefit to do it. And then you need an ambassador to go out and share it, but not from a place of depression, because we do need these stories of hope, right? You need to see someone say, I
Right.
went through the foreclosure process and it was pleasant. I'll share this with you. Dylan, one of the things that the gentleman told me because I asked, I said, "What's the hardest part?" He said, another investor was like, "The bank is not going to give you your payoff." Okay, so you don't want to run this thing up until you have to go to the auction, because I asked for my payoff May 22nd. I didn't get it till Juneteenth, and so we only had 10 days. I could have lost the property just because the bank didn't understand the rules of North Carolina. So ultimately, I told them, I said, "You don't handle that." I said, I don't want your closing people handling this. Let me handle it. After I got the payoff, they said, our closing department said, thank you. And you are the kindest, most appreciative client we've ever had. So when you can work with people who don't have stress, right? They have no stress. I had no stress. They told me they were going to take care of this. Then all I had to do was focus on the part that I had to do. And a lot of times we don't have this in America. You're expected to do it all. So what I found out with this program is they did it all. I just had one job to do. And so we were working together, and we need to see more of that. We need to see more of this.
More
Yes.
collaboration. There needs to be more. There needs to be more uh, on both sides. There needs to be more people who may be facing a difficult situation are open to hearing options before they get to the auction. Sometimes, as you know, Shanice, people will just throw their hands up in the air and say, "I give up." Right? Like I'll just whatever happens, happens. On the other side, you'll have investors who think, well, there's no way to help the situation. We'll just go buy it at auction. Creative thinking, and that's where real estate operators come into play in this space, can change the whole game. We are coming up on time here, though, Shanice. Where can folks go to reach out to you? How can they get a hold of you? Where can they learn more about this strategy and what you have
So
going on?
I have been so ill that I've really been kind of like a private concierge. And this is my first breakout of my shell since my health has started to turn around. And so on Instagram, we can be found at yearbook_Raleigh. And we just want to define what it is that is best for the masses through the experiences that I have had. And this is a big leap for me because ultimately, as we shared, I know we're coming up on time. People need experts. They need bookkeepers. They need somebody
Yep.
to help guide them. The same way in which I guided the investor on, hey, I know that working with the bank is tough, but I was a banker. Let me handle this. We need to do this more often. And so I have a project where I'm looking at doing just that. And let me be the first example to say working with investors can ultimately be a game changer and life saving because it happened for me.
Hey, on that note, I'll let you go, Shanice. Thank you so much for coming on the show here today and for giving our audience another way where they can navigate the foreclosure process.
You're
Thanks for coming
welcome,
on.
Dylan. I've enjoyed my time with you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.